Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Also welcome to our new viewers and our returning viewers. Notice we're getting a lot more new viewers join us, so welcome.
If you've joined today for the first time, here's a little bit about us. We came to Australia about 6 months ago, and we thought we would start documenting our journey right from the very start, from even before our recce trip. So yeah, if you're liking this video, then please feel free to have a look at our others, and hopefully we've covered quite a few topics now that you might find helpful.
Yeah, we made a big playlist, so we'll stick a link to that up in the top of the screen. I don't know which side it is, I can't ever remember. But yeah, go check us out. Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of helpful information for everyone who's thinking about making a move.
And subscribe if you can, it's free, and yeah, you'll be notified when our next video comes out. So today we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the importance of making sure that you get the process right when you sign up for a new rental, and when you move in, and when you move out. Because unfortunately, we've had our first experience of that here, and we were basically nearly scammed. So yeah, we've kind of recovered from the shock of that. So now we thought it was important to document it, to help as many people as possible so that they don't make any mistakes, and yeah, obviously know what to look out for.
Our first tip would be take photos, like lots of photos. So as soon as I know you'll be all keen to get in and get your furniture in or whatever, but literally take as long as you can to literally walk round with everything, fine tooth comb, and take a picture of everything, every little mark, little scratch, little dent, blemishes. Obviously, you might have the previous tenant might have done some repairs, so yeah, you might get paint matches are different. So yeah, just literally get a photo of everything, because if you don't have these, it's a game of our word against yours. So
Even if there's anything been left in the property by the previous tenants or the owners, you should definitely record this as well, because even leaving something in the property is a problem. So make sure that you get proof that whatever's been left there doesn't belong to you, so that you, one, don't get billed for its removal, and two, don't have to remove it yourself.
number two is the entry and exit report. A lot of them kind of want it done within 7 days, they say.
The entry report specifically.
Yeah, obviously you can't exit at the same time, but yeah, then the entry report is basically they should have gone round and picked on the things that they've seen before they give the property to you.
Most of the time they don't have a lot of time to do this, so they'll yeah, either just put that everything's okay, or
On our previous property, it said that one of the bathrooms was white tiled, such and such and such. And I looked down and was like, "Well, no, it's been completely renovated." So you literally have to write saying, "No, it's different tiling, such and such," or else they'll think you've done it, and they'll could bill you for it to be returned to its natural state. But yeah, it's just literally making up everything. As you said, they probably only get 5 minutes to quickly whip around the house and go, yeah, that works, that works.
yeah. The other thing is, make sure that you keep a copy for yourself, because if you're not moving out for 6 or 12 months or longer, and it comes to the point where you've moved out and you're now disputing what they're saying, you need a copy of that entry report that you wrote 6, 12 months ago. And yeah, sometimes they can be difficult about providing that if you don't have a copy, and obviously you don't want to show your hand if you don't have that copy. So yeah, just make sure you keep your evidence and copy of your entry report so that you know what you've written and what you haven't.
So number three is bond clean. So what is a bond clean?
It's a pretty big business out here,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, there's a lot of companies offer it. So basically, you pay a company, they come in, and they basically make the house to acceptable standard. I presume that's the idea, isn't it?
I think the whole purpose is that if you have a bond clean and the agency go back in and they find something wrong, they have to get the bond company back in, and the bond company agree to come back to do anything that is not okay.
Yeah, you should be covered by their quality of work.
Yeah.
Ideally. So yeah, basically it's like a clean slate of the house, what it should be. Anyway. So yeah, it is big business, isn't it? And yeah, you need to check that you've had one done when you enter.
Yeah, because if you're expected to get one done when you move out, then you should expect to have your property bond clean to that standard when you move in. I think on a previous video we talked about what happened to us here, and yeah, we were told when we'd have to move out of here we'd have to get it bond clean, but when we moved in it was filthy and we ended up spending a lot of our time cleaning. So yeah, we negotiated that when we move out of here we will not be having it bond cleaned, but it's really important that you check your agreement when you first sign for something to understand your obligation as to whether or not you have to get the property bond cleaned when you move out. We recently obviously moved out of our last property, and we wanted to tell you all about what happened to us, because we were basically the owners of the property and the rental company really tried to scam us. Maybe thought we were a bit naive, a bit stupid, a bit, I don't know.
English.
Yeah, and we really could have got stitched up. I think we were also unfortunate that our property manager had left the company that we'd been renting through for the last 6 months, because she'd been really good to us. Unfortunately, she left before we moved out, and I think we probably got a little bit missed. They probably forgot about us, and then I think between them and the owner there was a bit of negligence, and basically they were hoping that we would just
pay it all.
So what happened? Here's what happened. Basically, as you know, we spent a lot of time cleaning because we didn't have to have a bond clean done, so we spent a long time cleaning, making sure that everything was spotless. We we left the key in the property, and I was told that the rental agency would check the property the next day and come back to us if there was any problems. Anyway, fast forward 2 weeks later, still hadn't heard from them. Bearing in mind they've got our bond, which is the equivalent of 4 weeks rent.
Yeah, 4 weeks, yeah.
Or not, they put it into this RTA agreement, a bit like in the UK where, you know, it's protected, blah blah blah. But anyway, the whole point was we'd cleaned the property, left the key, we wanted our bond back next day. I mean, you know.
Well, they said they were going to meet us at the property, weren't they, on the Monday that we...
They'd said they were going to meet us on the Sunday, but obviously that didn't happen. Yeah. So anyway, I'll call you on the day after. Call didn't happen. 2 weeks later, not heard from them, nothing. So we initiated a process with the RTA to say we want our bond back. We've notified the agency that we've moved out, we need our bond back, we need it back. So then you proceeded to email them and let them know that we'd started this process and we'd moved out, we hadn't heard from them, like we wanted our money back. Then they come up with some rubbish about not receiving the email from the RTA. It had gone to junk conveniently, and then they finally must have remembered that they needed to go and inspect the property that we'd exited, and then they came back and said that they'd found a bunch of things that needed correcting and that they'd had to send out a cleaner, and here was the bill, no invoice attached.
Well, no consultant either saying, oh, we think this is wrong, so instead of letting us go and go, all right, we'll go and clean it or whatever, they just went and chucked a cleaning company in.
Yeah, so we didn't agree with all of the things that they'd come back with. Maybe a couple of them we hadn't done so well, okay, fair enough, but definitely some of them we completely disagreed with. But you know, this is the first time we've been through this process. We just want our money back. We want a good reference. So we were like, okay, we won't even argue it. We'll just, yeah, pay it. That was on the Friday. So then the Monday, we hear back from the rental agency and they send us some photos of random things with no context behind them.
Just, yeah, completely random, isn't it?
Yeah, so for example, there was a picture of an ironing board in the laundry. Now I'm still guessing because they've never clarified, but I think that they're trying to suggest that we left the ironing board behind. Did we leave the ironing board behind?
That was already there when we moved in the same place.
So then there's another picture of some grout splatter on the hallway ceiling. And I think, again, they haven't clarified, but I think they're trying to suggest that we made that mess. Did we make that mess?
No, luckily, I took a photo of this when we moved in.
And wrote it on the entry report.
And yeah, and had an entry report, and then we even had a photo. You could like see when you took the photo on your phone, so screenshotted that and said, look, this was taken when we moved in.
So anyway, I'd said, look, please send me context behind these photos. I don't know what you're trying to suggest or insinuate, but I'm a little bit surprised because we already had an agreement on Friday and you already told us what you felt was wrong. Okay, so yeah, obviously that was my thoughts, and I was right. That was what had happened. So the owner had gone round after the rental people had gone round with their additional cleaner, and sent them these photos, which clearly the rental company hadn't bothered to find out what the owner was trying to say with their photos. They just forwarded them on. Very professional. So anyway, then the rental company comes back and they say, did you get it bond cleaned? Because I think I'm going to have to get it bond cleaned. And I'm like, well, you've got a copy of the contract. You know that we didn't have to get it bond cleaned. So I'm like, no, we didn't get it bond clean because we didn't have to.
And it wasn't bond clean when we moved in because it was a tip.
And you've already sent a cleaner around to clean the things that you feel that should have been cleaned properly. So where are we going with this? So anyway, the next thing was the electricity. So we foolishly agreed, because the property behind us was being built by the same people that own the house we were renting, that we would share the electricity bill. Again, we were desperate for somewhere when we first came here. Yeah. You know, it was a house we could move in. Like, we just took their word that they were going to share the electricity bill. Really stupid on our part. We should have said no, but anyway, we did, and yeah, the first electricity bill came in and it wasn't too much, so we knew that they hadn't contributed. We didn't want to start a discussion about it. We wanted to be good tenants. We just paid it. We didn't dispute it. Anyway, the second bill come in, the final bill, and we probably would have paid that as well had they not been so
picky on their
difficult and picky about the whole cleaning thing. So that was it then. I couldn't bite my tongue anymore. It already had a massive hole in it. And we said, look, you know, we are not paying all of this electricity bill because you promised that you would contribute to it, and it's been summer. You've had builders in there using power tools, air conditioning, leaving lights on. Like, this is a big bill, and by the way, we paid the first bill without any contribution from you. So actually, now you can refund us for the first bill as well. So honestly, it was a pretty stupid move on the owner's part, to be fair, because she wanted to be picky about some cleaning, and in the end she ended up having to pay
a large lump of electricity.
A large lump of the electricity bill. But before she agreed to pay the electricity bill, she agreed to pay part of the first bill, the cheaper one, And we were told by her and the rental company that she wasn't going to contribute to the second bill because the electricity had been disconnected before the generation of the second bill.
Their made-up date that they decided it had been disconnected.
Yeah, which I think was something like February, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember now. I know they said they finished building, but yeah, they hadn't disconnected.
Yeah, so basically you're on your own with the second massive electricity bill because the properties weren't connected with electricity at the point that that bill was generated, and here's your bill. Oh, well, that was a big mistake because
Well, you remember what we said about taking photos?
luckily, and I say luckily because I don't even know what made me take a photo, but I guess maybe I was just still a bit cross even before we moved out that this electricity was still connected and we were seeing the lights still left on. And I guess knowing that we'd paid the first bill, probably preempting that we were just going to end up paying the second bill as well, I took a picture in March of the pipe that connected the two properties, and it was only at the end of March that that pipe was taken down and disconnected. So luckily I'd taken a picture in the same month that it was still connected and then got disconnected at the end of that month. So yeah, I went back to the rental agency and said, yeah, no, that's not correct. It was still connected in March and you still need to contribute to the second electricity bill. And by the way, I've got proof. I didn't attach my proof. I wanted to keep my powder dry and
save it for when you really needed it, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was enough. They completely backed down, and honestly, I think they should be embarrassed of the way that they behave because I don't expect that from...
Well, not for a decent, a rental company, and the fact that they were trying it on.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough from the owner, but the rental company are meant to be the in-between mediator, they're meant to be professional, and honestly, I'm quite disgusted. So yeah, definitely take all the photos you can, and yeah, if something doesn't feel right, just do whatever you can to protect yourself.
So number 4 is paper trails.
Definitely if you get to the end of your tenancy and you now have a dispute on your hands and you're waiting for the return of your bond.
Yeah, just keep it. Emails, I mean, phone calls aren't really that great, are they? You get to speak to someone, but you can't say, look, I emailed you on such and such a date, you've not done this hasn't happened. So yeah, just basically a paper trail. Now it can be annoying, you just want to speak to someone instantly, but trust us, it's easy to have it in writing.
Yeah, and sometimes if you pick up the phone and speak to someone, you can become even more irritated. So just keep everything in writing, keep everything factual, and just keep lots of evidence. And I think probably one of the best things that we did was initiate that RTA bond return, because I feel like it's a lot harder for them to challenge it if you're the one that started that process. And I know that the RTA do a lot of bond dispute resolution. Like if we hadn't sort of negotiated between us and come to an agreement, you can just go to them and they will start that process. I think it's will probably end up taking you longer to get your bond back ultimately, but they can do that. So there must have been something in it for the agency. I mean, I think they knew they were in the wrong anyway, so probably they didn't want us to go to the RTA with our evidence and information, and maybe that's why they wanted to sort it out informally. But you can do that if you want to, and I would definitely say if you haven't heard back from them and it doesn't feel like it's going in the right way, then definitely start that process because you've got nothing to lose.
So number 5 is getting your reference from the realtor.
Yeah, so obviously now we've had this little dispute, we were concerned that we weren't going to get our good reference, because we got a 5-star reference from them before to move into this property. And obviously now we've had this little sort of dispute between us. My concern was, what kind of reference are they going to give us in the future? So before I agreed to what we had agreed to pay and before I agreed to not take it any further with the RTA, I, in writing, said that I wanted them to confirm that this would not affect any future reference from them, because I felt like that was something extra that I could negotiate and that would protect us in the future. So got that from them. So yeah, moving forwards, if they give us a bad reference, I can always pull out this email that says, this is what happened, this is what we agreed. They agreed that it wouldn't affect our reference. So yeah, please have a look at this.
Again, paper trail.
Really important.
So there you go, there's kind of 5 tips, I guess, so tips on how to avoid pitfalls and everything. So hope it's been helpful to everyone that's watching.
Yes, so we learnt our lessons for you.
Yeah, nearly a costly one, wasn't it? But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we're still waiting for the return of our bonds, so we hope that that's going to come soon. But yeah, I feel like we're definitely getting wiser here as we go through the processes, and obviously we'll do our best to share all of that help with you guys, and hopefully you won't have any problems and you'll just have a relatively easy process. But should you encounter anything, it's always best to know.
Yeah, information is power and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We hope it was helpful.
Yeah, and we'll see you again in the next video.